60 Minutes. Hi, welcome back to 16 Minutes. We've been covering a Draper scandal of Mr. Burke Blazer. He's been caught on several offenses in which we've caught him on tape and both in photo. We've interviewed some of the people which saw him do these acts. The first of which was dumping dirt onto a public property. The pictures we have presented for you are those of Burke helping out at an Eagle Scout project in which he is dumping dirt on a public property. Apparently he takes his company name Carefree into real effect. This recent offense conducted by Burke Blazer was caught on his neighbor's security camera as he went around their front yard in his wife's purple bathrobe. Further looking into the story of Burke Blazer, we discovered he had been caught on yet another offense, spying on his neighbor in the same bathrobe. We thought we were done with the bathrobe, but apparently it's been continuing.
And this is what happened. I was doing my dishes and I looked out my window and Burke was looking in my window with his binoculars. I think he saw that I saw him, so he ducked down on my grass, and he was crawling across my grass, and he was in his wife's bathrobe, of all things. And so I grabbed my camera because it was sitting right there thinking, I've got to get this on film because nobody's going to believe me.
Oh, hi. Turns out that the bathrobe that belongs to his wife, Burke Blazer now uses it as his signature, if you will. His neighbor, Marshall Erb, caught him on yet another occasion in the robe.
Several Sundays ago, it was a beautiful Sunday morning, and as I am apt to do on most Sunday mornings, I arose, went outside when it's really quite nice and quiet and pristine, had my scriptures, and I started to read. I was starting to read my scriptures, and I looked across the yard for whatever reason, and there was this horrific sight. There was Burke walking out of the house in a bathrobe. And he sees me, and he hollers over and he says, "Hey, has your paper come yet?" "No, I don't think so, Burke. It's not there." And then I tried to pretend I didn't know him, right? I mean, I just sort of sunk back in and said, we chatted a little bit more, and I said, "Burke, is that your bathrobe?" He said, "No, it's Jen's. I just picked it up and threw it on so I could come out and pick up the paper this morning." Needless to say, I was horrified. I think I even threw up in my mouth and then had to swallow because it was just such a train wreck sight. Then that wasn't it. He then goes back into the house, right? And he comes back out about 15, 20 minutes later in the same bathrobe looking for the paper. And now he's furious because the paper isn't there. And he's ready to call the news people and say, "Why is not the paper there?" Could you imagine him confronting the news delivery person in that bathrobe, in the anger that he was in? It was unbelievable. What a card.
The suspect under investigation can often be found at the movies during matinee hours with his so-called male partner, Honey. He goes to movies such as Mamma Mia and Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. We know that he is at these matinees because he is not at work. Further investigation of Burke Blazer shows that he recently purchased a boat, wrote it off on his taxes, claimed that he would sell it. After talking with an IRS agent, we found out this was not the case.
Oh, Mr. Burke, yes. Well, we have been investigating the Carefree Home company that he allegedly set up. And okay, first of all, his assets. Houseboat, part of Carefree Homes, Well, I've never heard of a home on a boat before, and he does have a for sale sign in the houseboat, but investigations show that Mr. Burke's asset is spending more time on the lake than it is on the for sale lot. Pending investigations, we will drive to some conclusion, and there might be some filings, court cases that come out of this.
We're on our way right now to one of the clients of Burke Blazer to see how she feels about his company.
I purchased a carefree home from Burke Blazer. Thanks, Burke. What the are you looking at?
As you can tell, despite the suspicion going on about Burke Blazer, some of his customers are still satisfied with the way he runs his business. We now go to the tropical snow where Burke Blazer is known to be eating ice cream in a violent manner.
Burke Blazer? Oh, I know him. He comes here with his family all the time. We even have a flavor named after him. It's called the Blaze. But, he wasn't so nice the other night. He was sitting there talking with his family, and all of a sudden he started beating the Blaze.
As you can tell, Burke has an extreme craving for some serious ice cream. Now the question remains, is Burke Blazer scandalous, sneaky, or just plain sexy? You decide. Thanks for joining us on 60 Minutes.